Hello, and welcome to episode 55 of Mature Gamer Bits and PCs. We're a bit light on the old hosting this week. BC, I believe, is consoling Phil Fish at the moment, what with him being the personification and the PC poster child that he is.
I thought he was off doing a Twitter course.
Well, we can only hope. And John, I believe, tonight's recording has clashed with his anger management classes, but we do have one person joining me this evening. He's firmly got his dummy back in his mouth now, and we have Vimesy.
Hello.
Right.
Just the two of us. We can make it if we want. Just the two of us. Sorry.
No, that's okay, Vimesy. You carry on.
They're going to call this the Brokeback Show. You do know that, don't you?
Oh, you're not. Ironically,
we are live recording this in a tent in a field in the middle of Devon.
This is because I'm going camping again, isn't
it? You've always been camping me.
Oh, well. Anyway, what have you been playing this week?
Oh, it seemed just like that, isn't it? None of the small talk, just straight in there.
Well, what do you want to talk about?
I thought, the weather. It's been raining down here.
Oh, it has. It's been raining very heavily.
There you go, then.
Watched an awesome torrential downpour from the comfort of my warm office today. Yourself?
Got soaked on a Vespa riding through Bath. Yeah, I thought you'd find that funny.
Poor you.
So, no, what have I been doing? I can finally stop talking about it because I finished The Last of Us.
Yay! No spoilers.
So I'm going to send it on to you now. Is that right? Is that, you've been waiting for a little while for it?
Yeah, I could always do with 2 copies of the same game now, couldn't I?
So I told you. You see, I told you. As soon as you went and bought it, I thought, I'll finish it now.
Fast.
And I did. What can I say about this? It's well, you're about 60% through, aren't you? Something like that. Is that about where you are? You maybe even more. You've just I see. It's so hard to talk about because I don't know where the listeners are at, or if they're even anywhere. But anything you say about this game spoils it straight away, or spoils part of it, doesn't it?
It does.
But I think we're looking at doing a spoiler cast for it shortly. I don't know, soon. As soon as Clarky's basically got his arse into gear and finished the game, then we're
nice.
Then we're going to do a little spoiler cast about it. Maybe even get some of the plebs off the main show or even Night Shift to join in and have a little round table about what I would like to call the definitive game of the generation. Certainly the console generation, anyway, not necessarily the PC generation.
That sort of comment really upsets Beastie.
It does, doesn't it? But he's not here, so sod him. You can't stop me. Yeah. I think it is. I think it is probably the definitive game for the console generation, just because of this particular PS3 360 era has all mainly been about third-person action adventure shooter type things, but with the emergence of really hard-driven narrative. Turning it more into a cinema experience, if you like, say all the Uncharted, look, basically everything Naughty Dog have ever done in the last 5 to 7 years, and things like Gears and stuff like that. It's all driven towards, and this is just the defining peak of it. It's kind of, the story very strong.
Yeah, no, I'm really enjoying the story on this. I can probably see this as being one of those games that I'm going to go back to every few years, like I do with.
Yeah, it's a bit like reading a good book, I think. The problem is I can't wait for people to finish it because I want to talk about it, and I can't yet because I don't know enough people who've actually finished the bloody thing. So I can't wait to do a bloody spoiler test because there's so many sort of ideas and things I want to throw around about what happened with this and what happened with that character. But all I will say is that, to be honest with you, if you have got £200 burning a hole in your back pocket, you would do much, much worse than going out and buying a PS3, a copy of The Last of Us, and a year's subscription to PlayStation Plus. You'd be made for the whole year's gaming with PS Plus. You'd be made anyway. But for The Last, I think it's worth it. I truly do. I think it's a great, great game.
Well, Gibber did that, and hasn't his PS3 exploded or something?
Yeah, but that's Gibber. We expect it of him. So yeah, so I played and finished The Last of Us, which left me a little choked up, but yeah, it was fine.
No, I am finding there are some very, very nice emotional moments in it. and some quite amusing bits.
Yeah. I mean, you just got to the bit where I had to actually put the game down for a week because I couldn't bring myself to play it again. As soon as I got to kind of fall, the end of summer, basically, you can't say more than that. But that's where I got to, and I played through up to then, and had to stop for about a week because I couldn't bring myself to go back to it.
No, there's some sort of irony there, really, isn't there?
Yeah, pretty much. So I'm not going to waffle too much more on about that, but. And then I tried Beastie's game du jour, which is the mighty quest for epic loot. Yeah, it's alright.
Just alright, not spectacular. Beastie loves this.
He does. I don't think I've played enough to get quite as hooked as Beastie. I love the presentation. I love the world it kind of gives you. Basically, it's all very tongue-in-cheek. It's all fantastical and stuff, and it's got a really good sense of humour. But basically, you choose your character, and you're either going to be the three standard archetypes at the moment. You're a fighter, you're an archer, or you're a mage, basically. And I've chosen to go as a kind of archer stroke rogue type character. So I have a bow, so I'm good at distance combat, and it does play a bit like Diablo. You basically choose a castle to invade. And the idea is you need to work your way through this castle to the treasure room, effectively. And these castles are populated by... It plays like Diablo or Diablo-esque, whatever they call it, where you click to move and then you fire, and you've got hotkeys, stuff for like special attacks and whatever, and cooldowns and things like this. And it plays very, very well. And the twist is obviously that... the multiplayer element is that you can go and invade another player's castle. So there's two sides. There's a bit where you're attacking, and then there's the bit where you build your little castle up, put your monsters and stuff in there to stop other people managing to get to your loot. And there's a timer set depending on how big your castle is and stuff. So there's a time limit that you've got to keep pushing against to get there in before the gates shut on the treasure room. And it's very good. It's very good fun. I will play more of it.
No, I want to give this a go. Obviously, I wasn't deemed worthy enough to get an early access code from Ubisoft, but I believe it's... is it being opened up for everybody in the next few days?
I assume so. I don't know. I mean, I've been playing it for not that long, a couple of hours. I've just finished the tutorials and have started to sort of mess about with kind of the multiplayer and building my own little castle up and stuff like this. And I'm still unsure about how it works. I'm sure I'm going to get absolutely owned in the first instance, just when I first send my castle live, or whatever you want to call it.
You know that as soon as Beastie finds you, he's going to destroy your castle.
Well, I don't know how that works, because he's so fucking high. His level, whatever you want to call it.
Is that why he's an
He must have put shitloads in it. I don't know how they do it. I'm like level 5 and he's like level 8,722 or something. I mean, seriously, it's ridiculous. So I don't quite know how that works. I don't know if it kind of levels him down. I think it does. I think it kind of, if he decides to invade my poorly level 3 castle or something, he downgrades effectively down to a level 3, I think. But I don't think I can then do the same. So I don't think I can go up to his level to take on his castle, because I haven't earned that right, I think. But it would be nice if more people were playing it, and when the game comes out of beta, I'm hoping lots of people will come on, because I do see it being one of those games where you're going to get quite competitive with forum mates and mates, where we'll all try and gang up on Angry John or something, and do it over a few times just for the hell of it. And I just think it's almost turn-based, but not in a kind of way. I just think the game's really good. I think it'll be an interesting game when it goes live for forums to play and getting some competitive multiplayer going. The interesting thing is they've just literally today, I think they instigated some changes with the latest patch where you could buy upgrades to machinery and things like this, and the beta community basically rebelled against it, saying it was going to be pay to win, basically, which there are arguments for and against whether it was or whether it wasn't, but they basically turned around and said, okay, actually, you know what, we're not going to do this then. If you don't like it that much, it's fine, we'll take it out and we'll revert back to what we've already done. So There are things you can buy. I think mainly cosmetic, or I think you can kind of upgrade your weapons a little bit, but nothing that's particularly massively game breaking or anything like that.
Is this going to attract me enough? Even though what I paid out for Diablo 3 got about 10% of the way into it.
I mean, I've been playing a little bit of Diablo 3 on the sly a couple of times, just another hour or two. Actually, really enjoying. The problem is, of course, is our usual old chestnut of just not having the time to play. I was listening to the main show on over the weekend when I was doing the ironing, and Anna was saying she put like 40 hours into her DS this week. I'm thinking, I'm lucky if I can get 4 hours in a week at the moment of gaming.
I know what you mean.
40 hours is just unheard of in my life. So I don't know. Maybe I need to quit my job or something and just play games lots. That'd be great.
No, I know what you mean. Cause you inevitably have those weeks when you think, right, I'm going to get some gaming done. You finish work on a Monday and just think, what's on the TV?
I get a couple of hours a night, maybe, if I'm off free-ish time. And I have a choice then of, do I spend it with the wife? Do I spend it with the telly? Do I spend it with the games? Or do I read a book? Or so.
No, I understand. It's a juggling act.
Very much so. So I don't know. Is the Mighty Quest something that you would get into and stick at? I don't know. I think it would probably be one of those games that when it comes out, we'd all flock to for a couple of weeks. Spam it.
Then Defiance, for example,
or Trackmania, or pretty much any other game that we pimped for however long. But but it's free to play, so what the hell, that's the good thing about it. They're not asking me for any money. That's absolutely fine. I'm quite happy to install it, play with it, toy with it, and it is one of those games you can see yourself just spending an hour on here and there. Upgrade your cast a little bit, play, because it's got that two elements, that kind of base building mechanic and the attacking element.
Yeah.
It kind of can fit whatever mood you're in. If you I just want to play a mindless hack and slash type game, fine, go and invade someone's castle. If you're in one of those kind of, I fancy just planning out or just sitting there looking at a map and kind of putting where I want to put my traps and stuff, that will suit you too. So, it's, I think it's got a lot of things going for it. I like the style. I really like the sense of humour it's got. Is very funny. The introduction to tutorials are good. I'm looking forward to playing more of it, for definite.
I'm just picturing John getting into this and logging on every night to find that a new forum member has looted his castle and left him a...
I tell you what, John would actually really like it. I think he would really, really like it. It's one of those... he's got that Diablo-esque element, but he's also got that cunning megalomaniac, I'm in the volcano, going to take over the world type.
No, I can imagine he will, because obviously once Diablo 3 came on the scene, I think he played it non-stop without sleep for about a month, didn't he?
Well, I think at MGPX we saw his, he booted up Diablo, which is what started me playing it again, because I saw him playing it and was just like, actually, I really like playing that, so I'm going to go home and reinstall it. And he's got something like 4 or 5 levels, 60 characters or something. And fair play to him, because I keep saying this, I'm not serious. I wish there was a game that kept me that hooked for that long, that I could do that to and get to know it that well. And some people, I think John's a bit like that, where he will stick with one game for quite a long time. So he's stuck with LoL for quite a long time. He's stuck with Diablo for quite a long time, and he's now playing DayZ a lot. So he's kind of lucky. He's not like me, where I flip from sort of game to game to game to game to game all the time, desperately seeking the one. But one day I'll get there. So yeah, that's Mighty Quest. And the last one I picked up kind of on a whim, and I'm not really sure why. I've been loving my Vita recently, like really loving my Vita.
And this is exactly why you picked this game up, because I did it with about 3 titles when I was having a...